I hit the button accidentally. Sorry, you guys. But what I was saying, as I was saying, you want Caris LeVert to be active tonight as well, to put himself in a position to tear into his old team and put himself on the right side of that play-in game. Because at the end of the day, whoever loses this game, though they do have another game to play, that matchup could possibly be against a team they do not want to face. The way the Hornets have been playing lately, putting up numbers, all the athleticism and the star power that they provide with Ball and Drozier and Bridges. I actually think the potential for that game to be more difficult for the Cavs, particularly, could be there. Or excuse me, for the Nets, not the Cavs. The Nets, because I think the Cavs being short-handed without Allen kind of has it so that the Cavaliers are actually heading in the wrong direction in terms of their trajectory as to where Charlotte is standing still. So if they happen to get past Atlanta and Cleveland runs into Atlanta, we're going to have some serious problems, in my opinion, in regards to what's going on with Cleveland. So, they're in some trouble. I don't think the same about the Nets. I think the Nets match up well against both Charlotte and Atlanta, but you don't want to find yourself in that situation, obviously, if you're Brooklyn, especially since this game is in your house. So I do expect the Brooklyn Nets to win tonight, maintaining their positioning above 7 and 8, take that 7th spot, and send Cleveland down there to play Charlotte and Atlanta. I just don't think Cleveland on the road in a hostile Brooklyn environment, staring down the barrel of KD and Kyrie, are going to be able to overcome that star power tonight. Them dudes are going to be dancing and shooting and doing all kinds of stuff. Now, it's going to be on the Claxtons and Drummonds and people like that. Seth Curry is probable tonight, or questionable, I should say, so you don't know if he's going to be 100% ready to go. You're going to need players on that Nets team to hold things down. They're going to need something out of Patty Mills if they use him. They're going to need something out of Brown. They're going to need something out of Thomas or whomever they decide to use. What I will say, though, is the last time I saw the Nets, their offense looked like it had much improved. You got to give some credit to their team, including Steve Nash, who's had this team now for almost 2 years. And, I think he has shaken off his rookie coach jitters, and I think he's ready for a playoff run. And his team looks like they're playing pretty good right now. So I like what they've gotten out of some of those guys. I think, you look at a guy like Brown, you can only imagine what he would have been if his situation would have been, if he would have gotten more minutes this year. He's obviously stepping into his own, and he's ready for a bigger role. So I think he's going to help his team tonight. You look at that Nets team, and you just understand a guy like Blake Griffin is going to be hungry this year. This is a playoff run for him. And if, he gets out of this situation here, he can get himself into a playoff situation. Hey, he's had a long road. He wants an opportunity at a ring, I'm sure. So, guys missed an opportunity last year with the foot, KD's foot on the line, making that 3-point attempt at 2, and ultimately sending them home. I think they want another shot at it, and I would be very, very surprised if they get knocked out of this play-in tournament in one of these 2 games. Like I said, anything can happen in a game, a single game. You might mess around and have a 20-20 game by Andre Drummond, and that'll be the story. You just don't know. But one thing's for sure, this is going to be one to see. It's going to be a fun game. It's a lot of storylines because guys have played for old teams in this game. And, let's play off basketball with Kyrie, KD. I think that's always something to see. That's always a pleasure to watch. Kyrie's going to be dancing. He's going to be putting his art on display. His skill set and his footwork is on a level that's elevated. Just this year, you can see him getting even better. And his game and his mechanics and what it is that he does is pretty much impossible to stop at this point. I think we're about there. I would argue that Kyrie Irving is officially unguardable. Throw a double team, triple team, quadruple. He's kind of like Kobe in those situations. His footwork and his savvy and his skills and his will is putting him in a position to rival those type of people on that side of the ball at this point, in my opinion. And, he's always going to be limited defensively because he's a smaller guy, stature. He's not crazy defensive minded, but offensively, he puts so much pressure on the other team. He demoralizes the other team so much with his gifts that you have to understand that it takes a lot of pressure off of KD. KD could sit down and relax, watch him go for 50. I think that's going to be a valuable dynamic for their team, especially if they continue to get defensive play out of Brown and Claxton and players like that. If they could get that lockdown player in place, a.k.a. Ben Simmons, don't rush his comeback. Don't rush his progressions. Do not rush him into these playoffs. Maintain, lean on those superstars, and bring him back when his body's prepared to guard the best players in the league. Because if you throw him out there with a bad back on Giannis, you throw him out there on a bad back against the Nets or the Boston Celtics or whomever, you could be looking at a re-injury situation. They're going to attack that back. They're going to be bumping him on his side. They're going to be putting elbows in his back and all that. And you need to understand that if he's not sturdy enough to withstand that, you're gonna compound the problems. And with him having some of his other issues, mental health issues, you don't want any setbacks of any kind. So if I'm the Nets, I'm taking my time with him. I understand how much I need him to defend people, but I also understand that I have him on contract for many years. And you got to balance that out. Now, on the Cleveland side, from what I understand, Jared Allen with his finger is close to coming back. If they could get him to suit up in this play-in tournament, if they can find a way to get 15, 20 minutes out of him tonight, that will go a long way. I know he's not expected to play. He's ruled out. But if he's close, he is needed, because this is a situation where I know for a fact they're going to have a very tough time beating the Brooklyn Nets without that dual threat of length in the paint that they've had all season long. With that dual threat, Allen and Mobley, having a Markkanen in there as well, having a Okoro down there who can defend, those players give them the best opportunity to not only win, but dominate like they did in the first half of the season. And we remember, this is a team that was fighting for a top 4 spot in the Eastern Conference before the injuries started to bite. And they made themselves better with the Caris LeVert trade. So as far as I'm concerned, as well as Rondo, who's been making some flashy passes lately and doing things that he does, as we know, he is a dangerous player tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. Rondo will strategize against you. He comes up with schemes and things to help his team. He can go off in one night and have a triple-double with 16 assists to this very second. You can't overstate the importance of a guy like Rajon Rondo in a one-game winner-takes-all situation. He has the ability to step into a level that he hasn't stepped into in a while. And believe you me, if ever there was an opportunity for that to happen, it's tonight. He's in good shape. He knows his team. They fit his style. He fits their style. And although Darius Garland runs that point guard, if they leave Rondo out there long enough, offensively, he will make things happen. Defensively, at this point, he can be a liability, but offensively, Rondo makes you better. So I look to see him have some minutes tonight, and I expect him to do great with them. So this is a matchup I'll be paying attention to. Obviously, like I said, one game. Winner goes on to be the 7th seed and play Boston, I believe. And the loser will go on to face Charlotte, Atlanta, and the winner of that matchup will be the 8th seed. And those other two teams will go home. So that is what it is. Congratulations to both of those teams on making it this far. And I'm looking forward to a fantastic playoffs. Thanks for watching BDL 44. Peace.